guys, it's your girl Alicia here and welcome back to the STEM Girls. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to give you all the gossip on what it's like to do engineering, why I chose engineering, what it's like being a girl in engineering, and if you're stuck and you don't know what degree to go into or you don't know what field to go into, don't worry, I got you. I was literally in the same position like a couple of years back, so let's get straight into it then. Okay, so for those guys that don't know, I do chemical engineering. I'm in my final year in my masters, and I can honestly say that I've had a lot of fun whilst doing it. And the first question, so I've got a list of questions here that I'm just going to read out. Why, oh wait, the other side. Why did I choose chemical engineering? Okay, so this was back when I was 17, 18 in college, and we had to fill out our UCAS, and we basically had to choose a degree, and I just did not know what job I wanted to do. I mean, you had those like sectors that, those go-to sectors that everyone just went on about, like the medic people, had the pharmacy people and biomedicine. Those were the only kind of fields that I knew in STEM subjects. Obviously you could have gone for chemistry, biology, that sort of stuff, and I just didn't want to choose something and then just be stuck with it for the rest of my life. Like, I didn't want to choose a degree and halfway through my degree I changed my mind. I just wanted to keep my options open. Okay, so the UCAS deadline actually passed, and I was actually originally I'd planned to take a gap year just because I did not know what to do. But then one of my close friends was actually doing chemical engineering, and she just told me all about it, and I researched into it, and what I really liked about engineering is that it was so versatile. So even if the fact that you are doing an engineering degree doesn't mean that you have to become an engineer. You can go into a lot of different types of fields, and it just gave me reassurance that okay, I'll go into chemical engineering. Even if I don't want to become a chemical engineer, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I could go into other subjects. So that's why I chose it. And a lot of people ask, why chemical engineering? Why not medical engineering? Why not mechanical? First of all, I preferred chemistry over physics. That's why I leaned towards chemical engineering. I was already doing chemistry at A level as well. And on top of that, it just seemed appealing to me. It just seemed a lot more fun. Okay, so the next question that I want to answer is, what is chemical engineering? Okay, so if you want the textbook definition, it's actually the branch of engineering that deals with turning one thing into another. This can be from getting raw materials and just synthesizing them into something useful, or it can be just way down to the basics where you design the plan and the types of reactors that the reaction is basically happening in. The reason why with chemical engineering you can go into all these different types of fields, it's because it's really versatile. You do learn a lot of skills throughout the course of your degree. It has a lot of chemistry, obviously, maths, physics, and even like a bit of biology at times. It's a very problem-based subject, so it's all about problem solving. It's all about having one thing and just how you can maximize the profits, how you can get the most out of this substance and make the most use of this reaction. And by no means do you have to be good at any of the subjects. I certainly wasn't, especially with maths. You just need to literally work at it and push through. So the next question is, how are the classes like? What classes do I take? So with chemical engineering, I'm not really sure about the others, but with chemical engineering, if you're expecting like loads of equations and loads of written work, you're just sitting in the library and like going over all these calculations, that isn't it. And even I was surprised because that was what I was kind of anticipating. Don't get me wrong, there is that stuff in it, but the whole degree is not revolved around it. There's chemistry labs where you do experiments, which is my personal favourite part. There's also design projects where you just work with your classmates and it just mimics what it's like to be in an actual chemical plant. With the number of classes I take, I'm not actually going to downplay it. It is actually hard, and from what I've seen with from other subjects, it is a lot harder, it is more intense. There are a lot of classes throughout the week and we do have a lot of lecture time and contact time with the professors. That is a lot more than other degrees, and on top of that it's very fast paced, so you literally have to keep up, you literally have to review your stuff every week. There have been times where I've missed like 1 or 2 lectures and I don't understand anything. I'm just like, wait, is this the same module that I was taking 2 weeks ago? So it is really hard to keep up, but it is very doable. And one thing that it has taught me is how to manage my time correctly. What is the workload like? Okay, so I think because I'm in my final year, so I do have the privilege of going through each of the years. It works like this, it actually builds up throughout the year. So obviously I think it's a given second year is harder than first year and third year is harder than second year. I think throughout the years the workload that you're given is slowly building up. So last year, which is my third year, so it was the end of my bachelor's before my master's, was actually the hardest year. Like for semester 1 we were getting assignments throughout the semester, but towards the end we literally had like 4 or 5 assignments in the space of 3 days and also an exam. So that was actually pretty intense, that was pretty tough. I think that was probably the hardest part of my whole degree. And on top of that, semester 2 we had this design project where we literally had to meet a couple of times a week to keep on top of it, and on top of that we had to attend lectures and do assignments and all of that as normal. So I would say third year is the hardest. In your masters it does get easier. Even though I do get quite a bit of work in my masters, I do feel a bit relieved in comparison to last year. Another misconception I feel like people have about engineering is that you don't have to write that much, but you do. From lab reports to feasibility studies, you literally have to write pages upon pages. So the next question I'm going to answer is, what is it actually like being a girl in engineering? Now, I feel like with chemical engineering it's actually more well mixed than say mechanical engineering or medical engineering, because I've actually heard stories where girls enter the class and there's literally just one other girl. Or even like computer science, I feel like it's not as mixed as chemical engineering. With my class there were more boys, but you didn't feel the difference that much. There were quite a few girls. Misconception about girls in engineering is that they don't dress up or they're really nerdy, or in order for them to be smart they do have to look a certain way, and I feel like sometimes I have been perceived like that just because I do dress up. Well, I like whenever I tell people that I do engineering, they're like, wait, hold up, you do engineering? I do get that a lot, but other than that, the environment in the class, I feel like it is pretty balanced. But because I have been to conventions and I have spoken to people that are in the engineering industry, women, older women, they say that when you're in university you feel like, okay, this is okay, we're equal and we're on a level playing field, it's not that bad. But when you actually go into work, which obviously I haven't done, that's where you feel the discrimination, and that's where you feel like, oh, you feel kind of out of place. So I haven't obviously dealt with it, so I can't tell you my stories firsthand. I think the only thing is like people are sometimes surprised that I do engineering, but other than that, thankfully there hasn't been any like sort of issues with me being a girl in engineering. So if you are a girl and you do want to pursue engineering, do not let that put you off. That should in fact motivate you to do engineering, to prove to people that, okay, yes, a girl can. So to just round it all off, I have grown to love engineering. I was not expecting it just to be so well-rounded, versatile, just the course to delve into such interesting topics. If you're stuck on what degree to do when you're in college, one advice that I would give you is do not go for something that, you know, you're kind of stuck in a box or you're just kind of restricted for your options. I think maths is also another degree that I would recommend people doing, just because it is the basis of everything, like every single subject. We in engineering we use maths, in accounting, in economics. So I think maths is another subject that if you're really stuck on and you want to go into like a science-based degree, you should definitely consider maths, because it is kind of scary deciding what you want to be when you're 17 or 18. Trust me, I still am not sure what field I want to go to, what I want to do. It doesn't get easier as you go older, but you just learn how to cope with it. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about engineering, if you want me to make a more in-depth video about what my modules consisted of or what it actually involved, please comment. I'd be more than happy to make that. And I'm off. See you next time. Bye.